Yo, what's up, humans and bots alike? I am Ghangasrath, and welcome to Scrollin Thru the Floasis archives. So, if you have not seen the intro to this series, definitely check it out in that icon when it pops up. This episode, we will be discussing the Floasis Liquid and Digits Wiki performing. So, the Liquid and Digits Wiki, they have 4 pages. This is the first one, and this one's written by Mikey P. You don't really have to read all this part, but you should read all this part. I'm just gonna. He has a couple of points here. I'm gonna give you, my take on it, and then also give you some examples of of what I see the points being. And he starts this by a little anecdote here or a little story here about how some of his friends went to a conference about string theory, and there was a bunch of doctors and there was the Dalai Lama. The doctors were boring and the Dalai Lama was entertaining. He made people laugh about physics, And right here he puts, so what does this have to do with dance? I use this example because the majority of people who dance have a lackluster stage presence and do what the doctors did. They try to jam all their information into their allotted time. You've seen it, and I know, and I sure know that you've done it too, because I know I have and sometimes still do. Dancers will go from move to move to move, no pauses, no breaks, no chance for the audience to even respond. Then the dancer is left thinking, but I did all my best moves, why didn't they feel me? Because you never even gave them a chance. And this is a very different kind of thought process than I at least think of when I'm thinking, when I was starting, even now, giving light shows. So, let's go through the points here. Audience want to applaud you, let them. It doesn't have to be a pause. It can be a head nod, a smile, a wink, some sort of, yeah, that was cool, huh? And every time I quote, I'm just gonna highlight. Setup is more important than the actual move. So I have a pretty good example of this and he shares. He says, watch Salah, he does this better than anyone. He'll literally take time to draw attention to what he's about to do. He'll kind of let you know. He might even go offbeat for a second to clue you into it. And right here is a battle with Salah, and that I think kind of shows this really well. And he's the second one. He's the one with the hat, if you aren't able to tell. You have an audience. Great. Now it's your job to perform. This is a big thing if you're not serious about it, if you have an audience, it's definitely important to have fun, but especially if people pay, you gotta be serious about what you're doing. And mindset changes once you have a crowd. He writes this pretty well right here. But once you have a crowd and you want something from them as far as positive interaction, you better give them something. And that's for Glovers, right? We have this whole debate about what's more useful and just kind of the difference between online and live, both in competition and in light show in general. And this, that's a pretty big mindset changes once you have a crowd. So doing something online, doing something live, very different. Although it's, you're the same person. Right there, the obligatory, have fun and be yourself. Want more structure? Tell a story. So he puts right here, people will only remember what you did in the beginning and the end that might not be the case, but leaving them wanting more can be applied by ending big. Once you end big and get the crowd response you want, don't linger. Oh yeah, right here, the story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In the beginning, you start off slow, walk to the center of the circle, glide out, don't do your best move first. Amp stuff up, bring stuff into the middle, and then end with a bang. Another good example of telling a story is right here in Puppet's list of infinite theories. The progression of a show. He's got this is a pretty nice list in general. He talks about what he calls 4 pillars. One of them was storytelling, and this is like what pertains to the discussion here. Story arcs, right here. They it's all a movement, but it's not just right here. It's not move, end. It's not just opening, so good movies are dynamic. A good example is, he links it here too, LPEric's solo raw LPC video, and Stunna's the mustache glove set is another great example. So I'll have both of those in there too. Also, anything from Tranquil, like the Everything Black one, even though it has some edits, that's kind of what makes it less of a show and more of a music video, more of a show, if you know what I mean. And also his newer one, the Oceans video, both on the Amazing Lights channel. And yeah, those are good examples of story arcs. Also, anything that Kev does, or everything that Puppet does is a pretty good story arc. Nerves. Don't be nervous, but be nervous. Even he puts that. I'm nervous as hell before everyone, right? Like anyone who tells you they don't get nervous before they perform is a liar, right? So he also puts right here, love your nerves. They make sure you focus. So he also puts that most things, it gets better with practice. They never leave you, but you will learn how to harness the nerves and the energy to make you better out there when you perform. And in his case, he did locking, liquid, and popping, I believe. So even right here, he's got a link to the video, to a video where he makes a mistake. But that I'm not gonna put that in the links. But give you an example, give you a chance to download and watch stuff. And then finally, bring liquid to the stage. So this is a really nice way to end, and I feel like in gloving we talk a little too much about how drugs and gloving are connected, and he puts don't think that because it started in a club it should stay there. So we can apply the same thought to gloving, right? Don't think because it started in raves for people who are rolling doesn't mean that it has to stay at raves for people that are rolling. In fact, we were getting kicked out for years, and amazing, right? They decided to make competitions, make it a bit of a sport. So there's things that we can do to elevate the art of gloving beyond rave. And also here is an example of XTrap. They went on Asia's Got Talent, and although they're not glovers, they are liquid digits dancers and performers. They used gloves in their performance, and I feel like obviously as digiters, they're like the earlier glovers, right? So, you know, never be afraid to do something more than just a simple light show in front of like an audience of one. Although, like, in my opinion, that's like the purest, best example of gloving. So this was How to Perform by Mikey P, the Floasis Liquid and Digits wiki, the part 1 and if you got anything that you feel like I should scroll through, hit me up, tell me about it, and like be sure to like this video and hit subscribe to see when the newest vids come out. Thanks for watching, keep chill, and shoot.